Hello everyone, Arvind here bringing you a tutorial on Audacity. So, what is Audacity? Well, Audacity is a free, easy to use audio editor and recorder for Windows, Mac, and Linux. You can use Audacity to record live audio, record computer playback, and many other things. So, to start this tutorial, we're just going to open up Audacity. There, click on that. And here it should pop up. Just click OK right here. So here we have our basic interface. We have the pause button, we have the play, stop, skip to start, skip to end, recording, and then we have this giant bar here that has like a ton of settings. So to get started, we're just gonna try to record something, and this would basically just be a test recording, and you should always do this before you actually record your real thing to make sure that the audio device is actually working. So here I'm just gonna start recording, and then I'll talk and talk and talk, and as you see, it's just one line. That means that your audio isn't recording properly. So this could be caused by a variety of reasons. So first, you have to make sure that your audio jack is plugged into your computer properly, and if that's fixed, what you're going to want to do is check these settings right here. So I have my microphone high definition set, and then I'm just going to try to increase this input volume and see if that works. And let's see. And see, now it works. So you're just going to have to tweak the settings over here to find out exactly what the issue is of your recording. So now we're going to actually record something. And if you record something and you don't want it, you might have messed up or something like that, just press this X right here, and then bam, it's gone. So we'll start by recording a sample. So I'm just going to read off the Audacity website, and then we'll edit from there. Whoops. Programs like Audacity are also called open source software because their source code is available for anyone to study or use. There are thousands of other free and open source programs, including the Firefox web browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite, and entire Linux-based operating systems such as Ubuntu. And then let's stop that. So you might have heard me a little bit in the recording. I might have stuttered a bit or something like that, and you might do the same in your recording. But no need to worry. That can be easily fixed. So first, what we're gonna do is, so I said some stuff right here before I stopped the recording, and I don't want that stuff in my recording. So what I'm gonna do is just highlight over, and then I'm just gonna press the delete button, and bam, it's gone. So I'm just gonna listen through this audio recording and see if I have made any mistakes or anything that I need to fix. Programs like Audacity are also called open source software because their source code is available for anyone to study or use. There are thousands of other free and open source programs, including the Firefox web browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite, and entire. So right here you hear me stutter a bit. So if you want to submit something that sounds like to the best caliber as possible, you should try to edit as much as you want and as much as you should, because if you edit way too much, it's just going to sound way too choppy and it won't flow properly. So just edit where you need to, but don't over edit. So what I'm going to do first is get rid of my background sound. So I noticed there was a little bit of background sound while I was recording this, and that could be caused by a majority of reasons. Maybe there's something running in the background, or like your mic just records extra sounds that are just random and you don't need, aka my mic. So whenever that happens to me, what you do with Audacity sorry, so you just highlight this part, highlight any part that you haven't spoken. So you can highlight this part, you can highlight this part, or this part. So I'm just going to highlight this beginning part. And also, before you begin editing anything, if this pause button is pressed, you cannot change anything. So you have to make sure that the stop button is pressed. So then let's just highlight this right here, and then we're gonna go to effect, and then what we're gonna do is noise removal right here. So here you just have to get your noise profile. So right here we have selected our noise profile, so we're just gonna get it by clicking right here. So let me click on that, and so now our voice profile is saved. So then you just press Control A, or if you don't want to, you could just highlight the whole thing, and then you go back to the noise removal, and then you actually remove the noise. So just click OK right here, and then it'll just load a bit depending on how big your file size is. And then if we see right here, previously it was a little bit choppy, but see now it's reduced and it looks more smooth. So then we know that Audacity has done its job and reduced the background sound. So next what we're going to do is edit all the parts that I kind of stuttered at and messed up on. So
there are thousands of other free and open source programs, including the Firefox web browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite, and
so right here, it's kind of stuttering. So what I'm going to do, I've noticed that there's a little bit too much of space right here. So yeah, I'm going to try to edit that. And make sure you listen to your audio over and over and over and over again, especially the part you're going to edit. Because if you cut something out that you weren't supposed to cut out, it could be kind of hard to replace if you do a ton of things after that mistake. So you're just going to want to make sure as you go instead of at the end. So let me just listen through it again.
And so entire
so here I hear myself like saying N again. So I'm just going to delete that, and then let me play it back again.
An entire Linux-based operating system.
So now it sounds a little bit better, and the good thing is that it sounds smooth as well. So let's just play it again.
Entire Linux-based operating Office Suite. An entire Linux-based.
So here we have a bit of space that we don't need. So just delete that. Oh, whoops, I forgot. You just press stop right there and then delete. So if you notice that you've deleted something that you do not want to delete, you just go undo, which could be Control Z. Just click Control Z and bam, it's back. So I'm just going to delete that again, and then let's play this.
Entire Linux-based operating system.
See, now it's much more faster. Like, there's not such a big gap between what I said. So you can identify these gaps by this empty space right here with no voice. So yeah, so next we're gonna check for more problems in my audio.
An entire Linux.
Let me play all the way from back here.
Browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite, an entire Linux browser.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to get rid of this N part. I don't think I need it, but if I do need it, I'll just add it back. Delete that, and then let's play from back here.
The suite. Entire Linux-based operating systems, such as OpenOffice.org Office Suite. Entire Linux-based operating systems, such as Ubuntu. OpenOffice.org Office Suite. Entire Linux-based operating systems, including the Firefox web browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite. Entire Linux-based operating systems, such as Ubuntu.
Okay, so it seems that that N was actually an N. So I'm going to want to add that back. And to make it flow a little better, I'm just going to cut out this space right here. You're not going to want to cut it out like exactly edge to edge, or it'll just go like word after word after word, and you wouldn't really understand what you're saying. So you don't want that. So I'm going to delete that too.
An entire Linux-based operating OpenOffice.org Office Suite. An entire Linux.
Okay, so I still feel that there's a little bit too much space right here, so I'm just gonna get rid of that, and then you can, if you want to zoom in, just press Control and then scroll up on your mouse. So I'm gonna delete a little bit more right there. I'm gonna zoom back out.
Office Suite, and entire Linux-based operating systems such as Ubuntu.
So I think that sounds much better than when I just recorded it.
Office
So
Suite,
let's play it
and
from the
entire
beginning again.
Linux-based.
Scroll all the way to the front, and right there.
Programs like Audacity are also called open source software because their source code is available for anyone to study or use. There are thousands of other free and open source programs, including the Firefox web browser, the OpenOffice.org Office Suite, and entire Linux-based operating systems such as Ubuntu.
So that sounds pretty good to me. So what I'm going to do, I felt that it sounded a little bit quiet, so what I'm going to do is just, on this gain right here, I'm just going to increase it by 5 decibels. You don't, you can just experiment with this bar and experiment having it all the way at the front and all the way at the back. You can just experiment with that.
Programs like Audacity are also called open source.
So I might want to boost that up to 10.
Programs like Audacity are also called
and it's much louder, but the one bad thing is if you go all the way to the top and then you play
programs like Audacity.
See, you'll notice that it sounds really, really weird. Like it doesn't sound clear at all. You can't understand a word that I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is bring it back to 20 and see if that works.
Programs like Audacity are also.
It still sounds a bit chopped, a little bit unclear, so I'm just going to bring it back to 15. And you're just going to have to do this when you're recording audio just to make sure that you have the right levels.
Programs like Audacity are also.
So that sounds a little better, but I think I'll just bring it down just a little bit. Just put 12. And to open this up, you just double click on here. And bam, it opens up.
Programs like Audacity are also.
It sounds much louder and it doesn't sound unclear. It sounds perfectly clear. So I think I'm satisfied with my audio. So what I'm going to do is go to my file. So you're going to want to save it. That's pretty important because there's no use of editing it if you don't save it. So first what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save the project itself, not the actual recording, but the project. So it'll record, if you have multiple tracks here, it'll save all of those tracks. So what I'm going to do is go to Save Project, and then it'll say you're creating an .aup file. So then press OK, go back. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to name it Test Recording. You can name it whatever you want. Save. And then since this is such a small audio, it will load pretty fast. So I'll go to my desktop, and here's my test recording. So you see this data thing? So if you do not have this data folder, there's no use of this file at all. This data file includes all the audio that you've recorded. So with just this bare test recording, you can't do anything. So for an example, I'll just show you. I'm just going to delete this. Bam. And then let me open this up. Well, I already have it open, so I won't do that. But if you have it closed and do that, it won't work anymore. So you have to, if you're copying it onto USB or anything, you must make sure you copy this in with it. So once you have that done, you can just open the file up whenever you want. So say I feel a little bit tired, so I'm going to edit this later. So I'm just going to X out of it and then go test recording, and then bam, it just opens up again. So like whenever I feel better, I can just work on it again. So here we have it, our recording. So now you might be wondering, how do I save it into one file that I can open on any computer? So you go to import, and then you import the audio. Click on that. And then file type. You save it. Oh, whoops, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, sorry. it's export. So they have a lot of different files versions here, but what I always use is the WAV and WAV, because I just feel that the audio is really good. So let's just save that, and it'll ask you for artist name, track title, and all this. So if you were going to try to record a song or anything, you could just enter all this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click OK. And again, since it's such a small file, it saves pretty quickly. So here we have it, our WAV file. Let's open this.
Programs like Audacity are also called
And you
open
can
source
hear your audio
software
right
because
here.
their source code is available for anyone to study or use.
So then you can open this file wherever you want. But you might be like, hey, I have this file. I mean, I could just delete this. But no, don't do that, because this recording, say I have multiple tracks here. Say that I have one track with music, one track with my vocals that I've recorded. So what you're gonna do, so if you have it like that, you have to make sure that you save it as this type, because if you don't have that, then